All right, this was a GS4 that arrived today, and I just figured I'd point this out. So this is a first run GS4 in multiple pieces, 1, 2, 6, 0, 3, 11. This is gonna be the first run. I don't know if that's a repair order tag or what it is, because that's like from, I don't know, 5 months ago, 6 months ago, and this is a first run unit. So I pulled him out of the box, and he was shifting back and forth because there was only this front spacer block in here. So one of the problems people would get with the early GS4s in these plastic cases is, here's one for example from my own collection. There's this tender spacer that fits over here, and then there's this block. People would chuck either one of these, then they put the model back in here and would destruct, and of course there's no tender spacer in here. Now what got me was get into this thing. This has obviously been repaired before. This has taken front end damage where this has been glued together, and this is usually from being impacted in a box back and forth. You see it's missing the front coupler. There should be a pin up in there that your front coupler would fit in, and that pin is sheared off. That's not really surprising. That bracket itself is pretty easily replaceable. Kato used to have spares of those. I don't know if they still do. I can tell right off the bat that bearing's not fit in there correctly. You can see how he's out. So the guy who sent this in, also its rear coupler's gone. That's pretty easy to replace. You can see up inside the tender shell, it looks like a decoder went poof up in there, or something got very hot in there at one point. He says this is a replacement decoder. He said it was a Digitrax, but that's ESU micro 18 pin of some kind. That's an ESU speaker. And all these wires have been spliced together and heat shrunk. That actually doesn't look too bad, but the way they did it is kind of screwy to me. So I went to pull the light board here, and oh boy, they just soldered right to the motor leads, or the motor itself, which is always dangerous. You can melt those if you're not careful. And then also, there's no light board in here that I can access. And maybe I can get him out, but I'll screw with that later. But this is just kind of a mess that I'm going to have to deal with. Oddly enough, on a decoder tester, this thing actually has signs of life. What's up, Pip Pip? You okay? You think I can fix this unit? I don't know. We'll see. Let's see if we get any motor function out of it. Well, that's not good. Okay, so we got continuity issues. That's easy enough to fix, but we do have motor function. I bet you those drivers are completely messed up. So we'll need a driver, drawbar, and some other stuff. But I do believe that, at least from a mechanical standpoint, I got to flip it over and look at the drivers. This guy's repairable. Whether or not it's worth it with the smash front end, I don't know. But, you know, we'll see what we can do here. At least the, you know, $100 ESU V5 decoder is not bad. So, it's a start. All right, continuing with this GS4, I just was able to pop the shell off. I had to take the front bell off, and then I was able to slide the shell off, and you can see what they did. They just hit the power for the front headlight on there, which is a shame, because with this decoder you can do all sorts of different things. But you know, and you can see where they've hacked into this, and they've hit the motor tabs on here. And then this is heavily soldered on. I don't know what the deal is there. But one of the things that annoys me to no end, and I don't know who did this, if you're going to waste the time soldering something in, partially disassemble it so you're not melting components. Like, that's just half-ass work. I don't care who did this. Like, this right here is unacceptable. I mean, I know why they did it, because they figured it wouldn't be covered and they needed to isolate the motor here. You see the same thing here on this side, and then also you can see when they were soldering to the light board, they hit that right there and they melted that light pipe. You know, And that front fixture, there's a underneath this light board, there's a black support, and you can definitely tell they got it extra crispy here. It's like because they're not controlling their heat, and they're also not using any sort of pinpoint accuracy whatsoever. Don't know. This thing's interesting. Like, I mean, as long as this decoder is still good, this motor works, there's still hope for this thing, at least from a mechanical standpoint. You know, we can always dress them up and get them running decently. I mean, the couplers are, that's not a big deal. It looks worse than it is. This part right here with this, I don't know what the hell kind of fix this is here. This black glob. Yeah, you can see where the other side got cracked too. So either this got dropped or, like I said, this wasn't the case. You can also see where this this is a separate pilot piece that comes off and somebody glued it in. So I'm willing to bet if I flip this over, please excuse my rough handling of this, but I'm not doing anything any worse than has been done previously. You can see all the repair, and I would totally, if I had one hand free, I would throw some air quotes in there, repair work on here. And then also you can see where there's a bearing that's not seated right down there. Down there, that's not correct, and that might be some of the reasons why it's not operating correctly. Come on, Pip, jump up. Come on. Oh, hi, my Pippy Squeak. Are you a good kitty? I'm sorry, I was videotaping stuff and not, or recording with my phone, no tape involved. You give me your butt? Okay, you know, I know. You need your evening pets because you're a good kitty. I know. Part of your fan club. Yes. Can you meow for Jess? Can you meow? Oh, well, you making biscuits for Jess? Okay, that's fun too. All right. All right, continuing on with this GS4 mess. Pulled the bottom cover plates off, and these are the original drivers. I did actually feel a little bit, yeah, and some of these drivers, they're not holding quarters, so that might be part of it. So we would replace those with revised drivers. I am happy to see that there are, for a first run one, there are the DCC spacers installed. Now there's two kinds of DCC spacers. This is actually the retrofit kit one. The second batch of 12600301s, they're shaped a little bit different, so you can tell them. So this is from the first run of GS4s. And so what the issue was, because a lot of people don't understand why things were shorting out and then why they were burning out decoders, is this driver back. This is the lower frame half. This is the upper frame half. And so the wheel sets, as the unit was going around, were shorting this upper and lower. The upper just has the motor contacts on it. Okay, so you got these DCC spacer in here, and that'll keep the first and second driver from touching. It doesn't matter on the third and fourth. It doesn't matter on the first and second because the frame ends there. But so that's got the retrofit spacers in there, and actually, that one feels like it's glued in. Oh yeah, somebody used a dab of glue to hold these in place, which is an interesting way of doing it, I suppose. So I'll pull that out. Hopefully I don't damage him so I can reuse him. But if they put spacers in here, this whole soldering right to the motor tab and taking that little clip out there, right there, would have been completely pointless. You could have just either soldered to the drawbar, or it looks like somebody attempted to try to build some solder up here. It's a poor place to do it, but neither here nor there. So we'll get rid of all that. So now I'm torn here. It basically depends when I pull this tape off this tender. So if that's a correct working V5 micro with an X18 plug, I may just swap him out for a one of the new 583 or is it 58321? No, that's not it. One of the new Kato Japan boards in here that takes the place of the EM13. You know, they're about the same price, and it'll be a cleaner install. We'll clean this all up. So right now we're looking at, this needs a new set of drivers. I need some cleanup. Need some of this wiring cleaned up. Some of this excess wiring removed. We'll see what we can do. Like I said, you know, the decoder's the same cost, so I would just swap him out and then redeploy him somewhere else that he might be a little more appropriate. And we'll check that speaker. That just looks like a standard ESU 11x17, although I'm not entirely sure why they added shims back here. So maybe we'll swap him out. I don't know. So I popped the board, or the top weight off to get down to where the contacts are. And you can see where somebody's been in here playing around, and of course none of this matters because they ran leads to here. I believe this lower frame is available as a separate piece. I know I've got these L-shaped contact clips and maybe even some drawbars, but I believe this frame that holds this is available as a separate piece, and I'm going to have to order some couplers and stuff anyways for this thing. So, but looking at this, in either case, this is a case where somebody got in here with way too much heat, and I'm not entirely sure what these little nubs are here either, because that's most definitely not part of the what one of these should look like. I mean, this is, I mean, I understand why they soldered it here to get better continuity here. Maybe they originally had these motor leads going to these tabs right here because the drawbar, upper drawbar, can be a little finicky. But looking at the color of the solder and the oxidation, somebody was applying too much heat here, and it's all melted in place. So we'll see what we can do. I might be able to get away with popping that out very carefully, but time will tell.